This video is brought to you by Grandeur Warranty, your #1 online source for factory-backed extended warranties in the country.
Toyota offers a wide range of different SUV options to choose from, with the Grand Highlander sitting right between the Sequoia and the Highlander. So let's check it out and see what it's all about. This is the 2025 Nightshade edition, which means black trim everywhere, starting with the black eyelids on the LED headlights, this thin little black mustache that we've got here, and this black gloss grille. It's got 20-inch black wheels with black skull caps, door handles, and roof rails. Topped off with a black spoiler, some black trim between the LED taillights, and some black badging. But I do like the Grand Highlander trim is a little more subtle. Now this Grand Highlander is in a new color called Cement. And some might think that the Highlanders and the Grand Highlanders are the same with just a different badge and maybe some different trim levels, but they're actually quite different. And under this Grand Highlander, we've got a 2.5 liter hybrid 4-cylinder with 2 electric motors, pushing out 245 horsepower, 175 pound-feet of torque, made it up to an ECVT. You know, the suspension feels pretty good. It's a little floaty, you know, a little bit of body roll going around turns, but I'm not really expecting, you know, tight suspension on a Grand Highlander. But what I do notice is under hard acceleration, it is loud. That drone from the ECVT is noticeable, it is there, but you could just turn up the music on your 11-speaker JBL sound system. You won't hear it as much, but it's definitely still there. One of the things I love about the Nightshade is that it's got a hands-free tailgate for easy access. And one of the things that makes this way different from just a Highlander is its interior cargo space. So back here, you're working with about 20 cubic feet behind the third row. We can drop the third row with these little clips here, and the headrests will go down on their own, which is pretty nice. And then this jumps up to 60 cubic feet. If you need more room, you can drop down the second row, jumps up to 97 cubic feet, and that is on par with the Sequoia. It's got a 1500 watt household outlet, but underneath this subfloor here, you're gonna find all of your jack systems and your wheel lock key, which is really nice to have. But the cool thing is, if I can get under there, come on, here we go. Take a sneak peek at that. We got a space saver spare, baby. To fold the second row, it's a 2-part system. So first you pull this lever up, and then you'll pull this second lever to pull them flat. Now it's a relatively flat area. You can move these seats up and back, so you can try to close this gap as much as possible, but it is a relatively flat area. Getting in, to the Grand Highlander, I gotta say, as a pregnant lady in her 3rd trimester, I'm very happy with the additional space we have in here. So right off the bat, I do like this interior quite a bit. You know, there are still a lot of hard plastic surfaces, but they did start integrating some nice soft press panels on the dash here, and it does break up a little bit, but it's still very, very subtle. So it's not very like in your face, but this is the Nightshade, so you can't expect things to be too bright and colorful. It's got a 12.3-inch cluster with a 12.3-inch infotainment screen that comes with things like wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And I have to say, the resolution and response rate to the maps is actually pretty darn good. My favorite part of this dash has to be, you guessed it, my buttons, physical buttons for all of the temperature controls, and we get some nice amenities, including heated and ventilated seats. And given that it's 80 degrees out already at 10 o'clock in the morning, my ventilated seats are definitely on. Everything feels really nice and very easy to use and understand. Good action on the clicks. Just very happy to see buttons and not everything integrated into the screen. It's got a leather-wrapped heated steering wheel, feels pretty nice, has a good amount of buttons to choose from. It's got 3 different USB-C ports up front, one here, another here, and another next to this open cubby on the front passenger side. Down here you'll find a wireless charge port, a regular shifter, which I'm so happy to see, but this is something that I'm really growing to appreciate are all the different cup holders it has. Not to mention a giant one that you can fit a giant water bottle. Down here you'll find a couple different drive modes, including trail and hill descent control, which is going to be kind of like your cruise control, but for off-roading. So it's going to keep it at a certain speed while you're going off-road, which is pretty cool, up to about 20 miles an hour. In between these two little padded sections here in the center console, we have a sliding door that opens up to a pretty large center console here with a sliding cubby and a 120 volt port. If you are looking to protect your investment like this Grand Highlander Nightshade, consider an extended factory-backed warranty with Grainger. With Grainger, you can save up to $1,000 with your factory-backed warranty, and they will fix your ride with OEM parts installed by OEM-trained techs. Check out GraingerWarranty.com or click on that link below. There's really like no piano black in here. That's one of my biggest bugaboos that I hate in interiors of vehicles is they'll just slap piano black everywhere, but there isn't any of that. We have more of a durable matte black finish, and that's not going to show up all of your scratches and everything as much as that piano black will. Very happy to see that. This specific vehicle has the option for the panoramic sunroof, which is pretty large. It's got leather seats with lumbar support. They are pretty firm, which is something you'll probably want on road trips, but definitely not the most luscious plush seats I've sat in. In the second row, you'll find it's very spacious. Quite a lot of leg room, not to mention a decent amount of headroom as well. Left the seat where I drive it at 5'7" for reference, but I don't think that would matter because you could have like someone who's 6'5" sitting back here and they'd be perfectly fine. The Grand Highlanders come in up to an 8-seat option. This is the 7-seater with 2 captain's chairs, and it comes with a little removable center console here, which is pretty neat, so you have easier access to go through the middle if you so desire. But I like that it has a couple cubbies and some more additional huge cup holders. There are 13 cup holders in this car, which is perfect for a family type situation. Seems like kids always have a million different drinks. The second row has their own temperature controls and heated seats in the second row, which is really, really nice, along with 2 more USB-C ports and another 1500 watt household outlet. Not to mention some nice sunshades for the little ones in back too. Now for my favorite part, climbing into the third row. And ideally this shouldn't be so bad because the Grand Highlander has so much extra room in the third row. It's meant for 3 adults. We have 5.5 extra inches of legroom and 2.5 extra inches of headroom. And I actually fit pretty comfortably back here. Let's see. Oh, recline my seats a little bit more. And this is actually pretty dang comfortable. I could make this work. Maybe not for an entire road trip, but me being in my 3rd trimester and not that short of a person, this is actually pretty comfortable. A plethora of more cup holders back here, and each side gets their own USB-C port. That is 7 USB-C ports in all. This is made for a family for sure. When it comes to driving the Grand Highlander, it's a pretty comfortable drive. You know, I'm very pleased with how big it feels up here and my upright seating position. The seats are certainly a little more stiff, like I had mentioned, but I still think that this would be a really great family haulin' road trip car. You know, you've got 3 rows that can fit 3 adults, so pretty decent size, 13 cup holders, 7 USB-C ports, not to mention this gets a combined 34 mpg for fuel economy. So it's pretty good on gas. Like I said before, Toyota has a ton of different SUVs to choose from. So if you've got kiddos that are pretty grown up where they need that extra leg room, then this Grand Highlander would be a perfect option. Now, keep in mind, there is another powertrain option. There is the hybrid max power. And the max power is what you think, it's more power. You know, that is a 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with an electric motor, and that one is going to be mated up to a 6-speed automatic. But the more power is substantial. 365 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque, compared to this with 245 horsepower and 175 pound-feet of torque. That's a big jump, but you pay for it. You know, the max power option comes in at a base of $60,000, whereas this Grand Highlander Nightshade starts at $54,000. So yes, it's a big price jump, but that power is also a big jump. But if you don't need all that extra power, right? Let's say you are just commuting to work, you're dropping the kiddos off at school and sports and all that stuff, and you don't need all that extra power, then something like the Nightshade is a great option for you, because you're still getting all that extra room. You're getting a great amount of different amenities like heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, heated rear seats, the side sunshades. I mean, for the price, where average price of a car nowadays is $49,000, then I think this would be a great option. You know, the Highlander is a little bit smaller. Yes, it's a little less expensive, but you get less room. Sequoia, really nice, huge, but you're going to pay for it. This is like that Goldilocks, where it's perfect right in the middle. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Check out alltfl.com for even more content. This is Jen. We will see you next time.